What's going on, guys? Mr. Jones once again. Today we're going to work on Ready, Set, Go 3.3. This is the second to last lesson before finals. So let's make sure we learn this just last couple concepts. This is going to get back into rules of exponents and just what you know about exponents. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so in the very first section, I want you to notice there's three columns. One gives you exponential form, one gives you a list of it expanded, so you can call it expanded form. And the last one is standard form, or the answer if you put it in the calculator. So just to kind of talk about it, exponential form is the form with the exponent. This is the same thing as saying 5 times 5 times 5. 5 to the third means 5 times 5, 3 times, right? And what is 5 to the third, or 5 times 5 times 5? It is 125. So the remaining of the table, all you have to do is fill in the rest of the boxes. Okay, so like 1a over here, you would put what this would be in exponential form, and then what it would be in standard form. Should be pretty simple, I would imagine, hopefully. All right, I think the hardest ones are going to be 3, because it's just going to give you the number, and you kind of have to figure out what some power equals 81, or 6, for example, is going to be hard. All right, this next section is usually a little bit more difficult for students. It's going to involve your rules of exponents. So make sure you have those notes out from the last video. And also don't forget that if you guys did some problems on homework, people don't usually do this, students don't, but stick around in Zoom or send me a little chat in GoGuardian and let me know that you want to talk about it, because I would love to go over some of these problems with you, especially if you're getting stuck, or if you just want to make sure you're doing them right, we can go over some of the answers for sure. So never be afraid to stick around and get some help, especially during class time. All right, number 7 through 11, it says, give me 3 forms. Provide at least 3 other equivalent forms of the expression below, or of the expression. Use rules of exponents to do it. So let's just make one up. Let's just say we had one that was, I don't know, 4 to the 8th power. Okay, so 4 to the 8th power. Let's think of different ways that we can make 4 to the 8th power using rules of exponents. So if you bring out your rules, if you have your rules in front of you, you have the product rule, the quotient rule, all that. Let's use those rules. So using the product rule, we have to have the same base. Let's say 4 to the 2nd power times 4 to the 6th power. Okay, the rule is you add these exponents, right? So this would be equivalent. Another equivalent would be if we use the quotient rule. Let's say we did, I don't know, 4 to the 12th power divided by 4 to the 4th power. 12 minus 4 is 8, and therefore these are equivalent. Let's do another one. Let's do the, what is it, the power rule? So let's do 4 to the, let's say, 2nd power to the 4th power. 4 times 2 is 8, so this is also equivalent. Let's say we did 1 over 4 to the negative 8th power. Remember, if we flip this, it's going to turn into the original. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways that I can think of that are equivalent to this one that I created. Okay, so you're going to basically do that. You're going to try and create 3 different ones, it looks like. And I just showed you that there's 4 different ones that you can usually do every single time. The one that might trip you up is number 10, I would imagine. If you look on your paper, number 10 has a fractional exponent. Don't forget that we learned we can convert that to a radical as one of the ways. And also, you can add and subtract fractions to get fractions. So I know you can do the power rule, the quotient rule, and even put it in radical form as one of your forms. All right, so there's 7 through 11. Remember, if you want to check to see how you're doing, just hit me up. I'll be happy to help you. All right, we are going to skip this set portion. So you're not going to do number 12 through 17. I always have the students just cross that out. But we are going to do the go section. So the go section is rules of exponents. And we went over this in the last video. So go back and check out the last video where I talked about rules of exponents. But you're going to simplify each expression, and it says your answer should still be in exponential form. So even if you had something, let's just do one for fun. Let's say 4 to the third, maybe to the second power, times 4 to the fifth. Okay, so let's say we did this problem, and we said, okay, 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 4 to the sixth power times the 4 to the fifth power, and then we're going to add exponents, and then I get 4 to the 11th power. Okay, I'm not going to put that in my calculator. My answer is just 4 to the 11th power. That's what it's saying. So remember, you could do multiple rules, like number 28 and 29. You might want to solve the tops, solve the bottoms. But if your base is not the same, right? So look at number 29 and 28. You have R's and S's, or X's and Y's and Z's. You might have 3 different things in your answer. Let's do an example that looks like maybe number 29. So let's say we'll use A. So A to the 7th on top, and then we'll say B to the 4th, C. Okay, and then on the bottom we might have A to the 3rd, maybe we'll have B to the 6th, and you might have C squared. Okay, so here's our thing. Let's take away the C squared on the bottom. Let's only have 1 C. All right, so here's the random problem. Okay, go ahead. On the top, there's really nothing you could do. The A's and the B's and the C's are all different, so you can't actually multiply those. There's no rule for different bases, but you can use the quotient rule, right? So you're going to have A, it's basically the same thing as just writing it like this. A to the 7th, A to the 3rd, times B to the 4th, B to the 6th, times C. Okay, this is all the same. Now you can just solve these separate ones if you want. A to the 7th divided by A to the 3rd is A to the 4th. B to the 4th over B to the 6th is B to the, what's 4 minus 6? -2. And then you just have a C because there's nothing to divide with. Now, the only thing I would do on this problem is you're not allowed to have negative exponents. So any negative exponent, you just switch positions with it and make it positive. And now this would be your answer. You see you have A's, B's, and C's still left in there. It's completely simplified, nothing else you can do. All right, so that's pretty much it. You have 18 through 29 to do there, and then 1 through 11. Okay, so 1 through 11 and 18 through 29. Remember, you're going to be able to skip 12 through 17. So just skip those, 6 problems, and then you should be good to go. All right, guys, have a great day.